Hello and welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this great town, and we're here today for our annual trip to Applebee's in Woodbridge Center, where they have put together a whole host of backpacks in a Stuff the Bus event that we come to every year, and we appreciate everything that Applebee's does. Let me introduce the people behind me. We got our county superintendent of schools and current at-large councilman, Kyle Anderson. Next to him is Mark Zeno, who is the soon-to-be retiring, unfortunately, head of the Woodbridge Township Community Affairs Division. We have board member Sue Borden. In front of her is her daughter Emily, otherwise known as M&M. Behind her is board member Dan Harris. To his left is board member Frankie Della Pietro. In front of Frankie Della Pietro is Lizbeth DeJesus' daughters and Lizbeth DeJesus. They all look alike. I'm not sure which one's the daughter or which ones are the moms. They all look the same. We have somebody from Applebee's. I forgot your name.
Kevin Cobb.
Kevin, oh yeah, I remember that name. And we have Marquez. What's your first name again? Dawn Marquez. We have the far right, the superintendent of schools, Dr. Joe Massimino. And the guy I didn't introduce yet, Phil Hall from the Independent Club of Colonia, is kind of the architect of this program. He's the middleman. He helps everybody put it together. So let me ask Phil if you want to say a few words first. First, let me say thank you on behalf of the Township and Board of Ed for everything you do. Go ahead, Phil.
Thank you, Mayor. The Mayor did the introductions, but I just want to point out to you, with all the people that are here today, the Honorable Mayor Johnny McCormick, the Superintendent of Middlesex County Schools, Kyle Anderson, along with Joe Massimino, Superintendent of Woodbridge Schools. It shows you the dedication that Woodbridge has to its students, and certainly to the Township of Woodbridge, which is the best town around. And I'm not going to bore you with any more conversation, but I do want to mention that Dawn Marquez got to be the best general manager for any company, not just Applebee's. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil. Now I'd like to ask the superintendent of Woodbridge Township, Dr. Joe Massimino, to say a few words.
Thank you. It's always an amazing an opportunity to be here with the mayor, county superintendent, members from the council, members from the Board of Ed. It's truly an amazing effort. Ms. Marquez and Mr. Coughlin from Applebee's have been tremendous partners. As you can see, the amazing backpacks packed with school supplies for our students. This doesn't happen in a vacuum. They're amazing partners. They continue to be amazing partners and contribute to our school district and our community. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Mr. Hall. I know Mayor McCormick introduced him before, but from the Independent Club of Colonia, they have really grown to be such an integral part of our community. We integrate them with our school district. Our students know who they are and what they represent and the things they do for us. So from the bottom of my heart, I just want to thank all the stakeholders here, from the town, from the community, township, council, everybody involved. It truly does take a village, and we appreciate everybody's effort. So thank you all for everything you did.
Thank you, Dr. Joe. Now I'd like to ask the Middlesex County Superintendent of Schools and current Councilman Kyle Anderson to say a few words. He's here on both sides, represents the town council and education system, so he's a perfect guy to talk about this.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Hall, thank you very much for putting this together. Applebee's is a great community partner. I know that a lot of children, after their sporting events, and they spend a lot of time in Woodbridge Mall, and Applebee's is a favorite place for them to spend their time. These backpack events are essential to our community and community development of our students. How a child starts off their school year is really going to be impacted by how prepared they are. It's nice to know that we have such community partners that are going to ensure that no student is going to start off the school year without their school supplies. There's nothing worse than when a teacher asks you to grab a number 2 pencil and you don't have one. Or if you don't have an eraser. And the look on a kid's face when he has a fresh eraser and a fresh notebook to write with, that means a lot to their self-esteem and to the start of their school year. So I want to thank everybody for getting involved. We have a lot of backpack fundraisers throughout the county, but they're very important. Don't think that that there's too many backpacks out there. There's never enough, because things happen throughout the year, and schools need those extra supplies so that they can go to their supply bin and help a family out when they need it. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle. I'd now like to introduce the young lady who really started this whole effort, not this drive, But way back, I guess about 8 years ago, we had our first backpack drive in the Caseby section of town. It was an amazing success. Since then, we've had another one in Hope Lawn, and just this year we had a big one in Avenel with Feed Your Soul and with the Greenway Family Success Center. Lisbeth DeJesus has been really a driving force with this, along with Dan Harris. They literally knock on doors in Caseby and hand out invitations and tell kids, come on down and get your backpack. They work really hard at this event. I'd like to ask Lisbeth to say a few words now.
Thank you. Everyone has said everything that I wanted to say, but I just need to reiterate that it is a team effort. There's no way that Dan and I could do this by ourselves without the backing of the mayor, the administration, and everyone involved in donating and just volunteering and being there. Megan and Kelly were instrumental in the last 2 years. It's just been growing and growing. And like Kyle says, the reason we started it is Dan and I, along with former principal Stephanie West, was because we wanted to ensure that every kid in Woodbridge Township has what they need to start schools. We believe that if they start with the basic necessities, that we give them the opportunity to have a successful school year. And that's our belief, and that's why we're so dedicated every year to making it happen. But again, I'm just grateful to see it grow and to see more and more people become involved, because it is a team effort, and it shows when government and businesses work together for the better of our community, great things happen. And again, thank you everyone for everything that you do, and thank you Applebee's for being such an amazing partner. Thank you.
I'd now like to ask Frank Della Pietro to speak on behalf of the Board of Ed. This is another example of the town and the board working together like no other town and no other board work together in the state of New Jersey. You probably won't ever see a picture of a county superintendent, a mayor, a councilwoman, and a superintendent of schools and board members and council members in the same place. They don't do this anywhere. That's because everybody here has a great sharing attitude, and if it's good for the school and it costs us, that's okay. If it's good for us and it costs the school, that's okay. We work together like nobody else in the state, and I'd like to now introduce Frank Della Pietro from the Board of Ed.
On behalf of the Board of Education, I'd like to thank everyone involved in this effort. This is huge. There's nothing like when you give a backpack to a child and their eyes light up. You know, this is something that they always remember. So again, when you talk about Woodbridge being the best town around, look behind me. This is one of the reasons. We're one big team, and it's good to have the public support. You know, and right up until the governor's office, we have the tax-free holiday for school supplies up until Monday. So go out and shop and get your kids what they need. Take advantage of it. Doesn't happen often. And again, on behalf of the Board of Education, I'd like to thank everyone involved. Thank you.
And now the stars of the show, the ones with the money and the ones with the backpack, they are from Applebee's, Dawn Marquez and Kevin Coughlin. I'd like to ask either or both of you to come on up. I'll hold this and say a few words about your effort here. And first of all, on behalf of the town and the board, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. We are more than excited to do what we can to help our communities. Dawn is a superstar. I'm here to tell you, she is just a terrific general manager, and we're so excited that we can help in any way that we can. So, with that said, Dawn.
This was a great turnout. It's our second annual, and we did much better than we did last year due to the support of Phil Hall and the mayor, who he must be triplets, because I don't know. He's here today, and 20 minutes later he's somewhere else. He's just such a great supporter of local business. It's just amazing, and we love to have him. The Board of Education and everybody on the school board is absolutely phenomenal to work with, and whatever we can do, you know, Applebee's, you know, doing good in the neighborhood is what we're about, but our vision is giving back to our community, and any opportunity that we have to do that is what we want to do. And as a kid who grew up on government assistance and relying on programs like this, it's just amazing, because I know the value of stepping into school day one and looking like the rest of the kids out there and not feeling anything less. So whatever we can do now and in the future with you guys, we are here. Applebee's is for you.
Thank you very much. I also want to recognize Emily Crutch from Applebee's. She's the marketing director, stuck behind the phone taking pictures today. Thank you all also for being out here. So why don't we all grab a backpack and stand in front of the bus? How's that for a group pick?